What's up? My name's Danny Suede. My shoulder just popped like crazy. I just want to give you some context real quick for what you're about to see. So I just did 6 weeks in Thailand and I'm working on a vlog. And this was a part of the vlog, but I decided that it would be better to just be a standalone video. And I'm actually going to start making a lot more videos like this that just kind of tackle one thing that I'm curious about, that I look into. And so yeah, that's what this is. But yeah, enjoy.
One of the first things that really struck me when I got to Thailand was the economic inequality and like the price of stuff. Just to give you an example, like I went out to eat with some people when I first got there early on, and we got drinks and a bunch of food and everything. And I went to pay after, and like it was $17 with a tip, right? And I was just like, what the heck, right? So this was basically the experience across the board. Like any necessities, I'm talking 30 to 40 minutes in an Uber ride, $5, right? Haircut, $4 with a tip. And it's not even a tipping culture, but usually I was eating 3 square meals a day, getting it delivered to the condo for like $8 a day, right? 3 meals. So immediately I'm like, I want to understand what is happening here. Like, why is it like this? Like a freaking, a meal, the meals I was having, I'm like, this is the same as in America, basically, right? How is it so much cheaper here, and why? Like, why is going in a car from A to Z is going in a car from A to Z? Why in this part of the world is it, an eighth of the price, like, or less, or more, it just depends. But I spent a lot of time while I was there, like researching this and like wondering about this because it just was so crazy. And I just kind of want to share kind of what I found. And this could be wrong, okay? So I'm not saying I figured this out and I understand, but this is just from what I learned and observed and researched. This is what I found. So I think first off, it's not everything that's way cheaper. A lot of commodities are the same price, right? So an iPad is going to basically cost you the same there as here. What is cheaper there is necessities, things like energy and electricity, food, transportation, housing, etc. These are the things that are cheaper. And I've found that there's a lot of reasons why this is the case, that all intermingle. I think one of the first reasons is obviously low wages. They have low minimum wage. People are not being paid a lot of money to do things. And so businesses can afford to charge less money for their products because they don't have to pay their employees so much money, right? If you're a Westerner or coming from somewhere with a stronger currency, that results in really low prices for you. Another thing I think is less regulation. I think in Thailand, there's a lot less hoops to jump through and a lot less boxes you have to check to do business in general. And so it's cheaper to operate, which also results in lower costs that you pass on to the consumers. So, and there's obviously trade-offs with that, but I think that's the case. Another thing, which I think is a big factor, is government subsidies and cost control. I think the government realizes that a large portion of the population there doesn't have a lot of money. So they put their own money in to make sure the costs of certain things stay low, like food and energy, etc., and put barriers on how much the companies providing the necessities can charge, because they could just theoretically run up the price. But I think the government comes in certain aspects and says, nope, this is as much as you can charge for this, so that people can afford to live and get around and eat. And then the other thing with food, and I think a few other things, is they're smart and they do domestic supply of food and energy and different things. So they're not importing a lot of things, and they're making a lot of stuff at home that they need, right? The things they need, and then that is also resulting in low wages. So I think all in all, that's kind of the gist of what's happening to make the wages low. So yeah, if you're coming from the West or somewhere with a strong currency, you're gonna ball out. If you're like average wage in the US and you go to Thailand, you're freaking balling, dude. Like I was balling out, it was crazy. So amazing, and it's so nice. Like for me, I'm like, bro, I'm probably gonna go live there, spend most of my time there, because it's just you're paying $8 for a Starbucks in America, or you're paying $8 to get 3 meals delivered, right? And living somewhere amazing. Like, I kept my amount of rent I was paying the same from when I was in LA to there, except for the place that I was in, Thailand, was so much nicer and better, just 1,000 leagues better. And then everything else around me is way more affordable as well, right? So it's a no-brainer, and it's just really interesting. And so I put together a Perplexity page about this stuff. If you want to check it out, it'll be in the description so you can look at it and learn as well. And then the last thing I want to just mention is, which I'm going to talk about and dive into probably in the next video, because it's the same thing here, is there's this weird guilt that happens when you see, like, holy shit, you come from America and you realize, like, dude, I'm so well off compared to a lot of these people, and like how lucky you are, or I was. Like, there's this crazy realization and guilt, and like you just feel like it's this weird internal struggle that I don't know what to make of yet. I haven't fully processed it, but I'm gonna talk about it more in the future. But really interesting, because we, at least as Americans, speaking for myself, are so lucky. Like, it is just crazy to be from a country with a strong currency and a high wage and these kind of things, and then go somewhere where it's not the case and just like see how lucky you are. It just puts it in your face how lucky you are, and just this roll of the dice, I was born in America, you know? So really interesting. But anyways, that's that.
Okay, so just finished the edit, and a couple things I want to add here. There's this weird thing as far as the causality of things being cheap. There's this thing where it's like people don't make a lot of money, so things have to be cheap, and since things are cheap, companies don't have to pay employees as much because things are cheap and they don't need as much money because they can afford things. So I'm like, I don't know if it's like a chicken or the egg thing, where it's like people don't make money, so they need cheap things, so the things are cheap, so the company doesn't have to pay them as much money to afford to live, because to live is cheaper. So like, I don't know, sorry if that's confusing, but that's kind of a weird thing, and I don't fully grasp it. It's obviously complex. But the other thing is I want to mention is that I was just in Bangkok. So I know obviously Thailand's a big place. I didn't go to any of the other cities. I can't speak for the other cities and how things are. I was in Bangkok, and that was my experience there. The other thing is that I'm talking at the end about being lucky, how lucky I am as an American. And like, I want to acknowledge that, like, I'm lucky for an American, and I'm lucky enough to be able to work wherever I want. I have my own business and I can just go where I want for the most part. So I'm super lucky for an American too, right? I know, I understand that like Americans can't just like go over to fucking Thailand for 6 weeks. So I understand that, but I just wanted to give more context to that. And then I want to let you know my vlog about my whole experience in Thailand. I filmed a bunch of it, and I'm making a video. That's going to be on my channel, so if you want to subscribe, you can see that. And then I also want to let you know I do a blog and like a weekly email list. And so with the email list, I do my like weekly Perplexity searches on there. So all the things that I search each week on Perplexity, I put them on my emails each week, so you can kind of see what I'm searching, and people tend to like that. And then I also am planning a post along with the vlog that's like a long, in-depth post about my thoughts and my experience, and there'll be photos and just deeper dives into all this stuff if you're interested in that. So there'll be a link in the description. It's free. You just put in your email and you get my posts in your inbox. And I put a lot of time and thought into that, so I just wanted to let you know about that if that sounds interesting to you. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.